You know what keeps me up at night? Thinking about everybody who believes that wage garnishment is a permanent prison. That once creditors start taking money from your paycheck, there's nothing you can do about it. See, I used to think the same thing. About 9 years ago, when my small business failed, I ended up with $60,000 in credit card debt, and I was working so much driving for Uber, Lyft, Instacart, anywhere that I could find shifts just to keep up with payments. And let me tell you, the fear of garnishment of my wages, the little bit of money that I was earning, was so scary, right? It was paralyzing because I needed that money just to make the minimum payments on my credit card debt. I couldn't have it taken out. Hey, everybody, I'm Ben, the co-founder of Upsolve, and welcome to the Break Free Show. Now, a quick disclaimer before we dive in. While I do bring my personal experience and a law degree to these discussions, I'm not your attorney or financial advisor. For specific advice about your situation, make sure you consult a professional. Now, today, we're breaking down something crucial. 4 legal ways to stop wage garnishment. But here's the truth. Garnishment isn't a life sentence. You heard me right. It isn't a life sentence. You can get out of it. You do have options, and I'm going to walk you through each one in this episode. First, let's understand what wage garnishment actually is. It's a debt collection tool where creditors can take money directly from your paycheck after they get a court order. Under federal law, they can't take more than 25% of your disposable income, but even that can be devastating when you're struggling. Like, think about 25% of the money that you have left over after expenses just going away. It's gone. Super devastating, super scary. So let's talk about the 4 ways out. Option number 1, you can negotiate with your creditors. Here's something most people don't know. Especially if your debt's been sold to a collection agency, you might have room to negotiate. Collection agencies buy debt for pennies on the dollar, which means they're often willing to work out a payment plan or settlement. When I was struggling, I wish I'd known this was possible. It would have made me a lot less afraid of the idea of garnishment. Second, you can challenge the garnishment in court. Now, you need to act fast here. Sometimes you only have as little as 5 business days to file what's called a claim of exemption in that process. And this works especially well if you receive Social Security, unemployment, or retirement benefits, which are often exempt from garnishment. Option number 3, you can file for bankruptcy. This is the nuclear option, quote unquote, but sometimes it's exactly what you need. When you file bankruptcy, something called the automatic stay kicks in immediately. It stops the majority of collection activities, including garnishment in most cases. Now, there are a few outlier scenarios where you have garnishment for things like unpaid child support or some tax garnishments that don't get stayed in bankruptcy, but the majority of collection efforts actually do, which can help quite a lot. So bankruptcy is the path that I chose to get out of debt, and it totally changed my life. Instead of working endless hours just to stay afloat, I got a fresh start. I got a piece of paper in my hands that said that my debt was gone, and that really set me free to build the life that I have today. So your 4th option for dealing with garnishment is to get help from a nonprofit credit counselor. These organizations can review your financial situation and sometimes help you put together a repayment plan that works for your budget. Plus, they have relationships with a lot of the creditors that can make negotiating a little bit easier. So here's what's crucial to understand. You can't just ignore a garnishment order, but you also don't have to accept it as the new normal and your future forever. When I was driving forever, trying to get out of debt, barely making enough to cover my credit card interest, I felt trapped. But there was a way out. There's always a way out. If you're facing garnishment right now, head on over to upsolve.org. We've helped millions of Americans understand their debt relief options, and we can help you too. Our free tool will walk you through your options in 2 minutes. It just takes about 2 minutes to go through the screener. You'll get results personalized to your situation that'll show you how you can deal with your debt and address any potential garnishment issues that you might have. Now, remember, new videos of the show drop every Monday morning, and we host weekly live webinars where our experts answer your questions directly. Check out our channel's live page for details. You can take a look at that again on youtube.org/Upsolve right here. Boom. Upsolve, @Upsolve, really easy to find on YouTube, also on social media. And if you found this video helpful, you might want to check out our other video called The Truth About Chapter 7 Bankruptcy, which you can find on our YouTube right here. The Truth About. Now we'll go down here to it. Just pull it up on the screen so you can see it right here. Truth About Chapter 7 Bankruptcy, Pros and Cons, Break Free Podcast, Episode 2. This will give you a sense if bankruptcy might be a good option for you to consider to escape that wage garnishment that is weighing you down. It can be a really powerful tool for breaking free from debt for you, just as it was for me. Remember, financial freedom isn't just for people who can afford expensive lawyers. It's for everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Break Free.